A guy from the other side of the world just rolled into the biggest race in American motorsport and almost stole the show. Shane van Gisbergen, a New Zealander who most NASCAR fans only know from road courses, ran at the front of the 2026 Daytona 500 for over 120 laps. He even led it. Then Daytona did what Daytona always does. It took it all away in one crash. Shane van Gisbergen, or SVG, as everyone calls him, is a three-time champion from the Australian Supercars series. He has wins at the Bathurst 12-hour and a podium at the 24 Hours of Daytona. He is not a small name in world motorsport, but in NASCAR he became famous overnight. In 2023, he showed up to the Chicago Street Course for his very first Cup race. Not a test, not a practice run, his debut, and he won it. Not a top 10, not a solid run, he won the race. He followed that up by winning at Mexico City in 2025. Then he won the Charlotte Roval in October 2025. That was his fifth straight road course win in the Cup Series. He now has 6 road course wins total in Cup, plus 4 more in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. But here is the thing. The critics kept saying the same thing over and over. He's only good on road courses. He can't handle ovals. He can't survive superspeedways. He can't do Daytona. His first Daytona 500 in 2025 seemed to prove them right. He got crashed out early and spent the rest of the day limping around laps down. It was not a good memory. Coming into 2026, SVG was honest about what happened. I enjoyed it last year. The race build-up is epic, seeing the stands full. It's an amazing racetrack. The race didn't go very well for us last year. We got crashed early and limped around the rest of the race. Hopefully, we can have a bit of a better result this year. Daytona week did not start well for Trackhouse Racing. In qualifying, all 3 Trackhouse cars failed to crack the top 20. SVG was the worst of the 3, qualifying 37th out of the whole field. His teammates, Ross Chastain and Connor Zilisch, were not much better at 34th and 23rd. At a superspeedway, you need more than just speed. You need to know how to work with other drivers in the draft. You need to make friends. You need to trust the guy behind you to push. SVG has been working on that. I'm still learning and trying to make friends, I guess. It takes a while to understand how to put your car in the right place. Then came the duels on Thursday night. These are 2 60-lap qualifying races that set the grid for the 500. SVG started Duel 1 from 19th. He saved fuel early, stayed patient, and waited for his moment. When a caution flew late, he pitted, lined up 8th for an overtime restart, and narrowly dodged a multi-car crash on the final lap to finish 6th. That earned him 13th on the grid for Sunday. It was already a step in the right direction. The speed was there. The racecraft was there. Now it was time for the big one. Sunday morning brought more drama before the green flag even dropped. Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher, and William Byron all got sent to the back of the field for switching to backup cars after crashes during the week. The grid was shuffled. Everyone was on edge. SVG lined up 13th, but before the race even started, he had a problem. His heel protectors, the boot covers drivers wear for fire safety, came loose and got lost somewhere in the footwell of the car. The team fixed it just in time. When the green flag dropped, SVG went to work. He charged forward immediately. Within a few laps, he had worked his way up to 3rd place as the field fanned out 3 wide. Then the first caution came out on lap 6, when BJ McLeod suffered a tire failure and spun, collecting several cars including Byron and Chastain. At the restart on lap 12, SVG was 5th on the outside lane. The wind was brutal all day. Commentators said these were the strongest wind gusts ever seen at a Daytona 500. The cars were twitchy. One wrong move and you are done. By lap 34, the field was running 3 wide, and SVG was holding firm in 6th on the top lane, the preferred line at Daytona. Then he surged forward to 3rd as the outside draft formed a powerful train behind him. During a round of green flag pit stops for fuel, SVG got shuffled back to 17th as the lanes broke apart, but he cycled back into the top 10 as other drivers made their stops. Then came a tense moment. William Byron moved up in front of SVG on the outside lane, and SVG gave him a nudge to keep his momentum going. It turned Byron slightly, and he brushed the wall. Byron saved it, but SVG felt bad enough to radio his team right away. "Can you apologize to the 24 as well? I thought I was square, but it just turned him. That tells you something about SVG. He is tough on track, but he knows when he made a mistake. He respects the other drivers out there. SVG pitted for fuel with 6 laps left in Stage 1 and finished the stage in 25th. But the car was fast, he was learning, and Stage 2 was about to be something special. Out of balance, low grip overall, but it seems to be the case for everyone. Stage 2 is where SVG really showed what he could do. He restarted 25th after taking 4 fresh tires and fuel. He did not waste any time. By lap 32 of the stage, he was already up to 5th on the inside lane with a long line of cars stacked up behind him in the draft. Then it happened. SVG and his teammate Ross Chastain found themselves side by side at the very front of the pack. With a big push from Kyle Larson behind him, SVG surged past everyone and took the lead. A New Zealand road course specialist, the guy everyone said could not handle ovals, he was leading the Daytona 500. He led 3 laps. Chastain took over and led 11 more. SVG was running with total confidence on one of the hardest, most intimidating racetracks in the world. At the halfway point of the race, he was running in the top 5 alongside Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Cindric, and Ryan Blaney. And then Daytona took it all away. With 6 laps left in Stage 2, disaster struck at the front of the field. Denny Hamlin in the number 11 Toyota tried to go around Justin Allgaier's number 40 Chevrolet through the tri-oval. There was no room. The gap closed. Allgaier spun hard into the wall on the front stretch. What followed was a 17-car pileup, cars hitting each other like dominoes. SVG hit the back of Kyle Larson's number 5 Chevrolet. Then he spun and hit his own teammate Ross Chastain. The number 97 came to rest on the infield grass. SVG had a blown right rear tire and damage to his rear bumper and front splitter. He lost 2 full laps getting the car fixed and back on track. SVG, who had been one of the fastest cars all day and was just leading the race a few minutes earlier, was suddenly 2 laps down and running in 32nd place. SVG was stuck back in 32nd, 2 laps down. He was running in the lucky dog position, meaning he was the first car a full lap behind the leader. If a caution came out, he would get a free pass and get 1 lap back. Then, with 8 laps to go, a caution finally flew. Corey Heim hit his own team boss Denny Hamlin, which sent Hamlin's teammate Christopher Bell into the wall. Under that caution, SVG got the lucky dog free pass. He was back to just 1 lap down. The green flag came back out with 4 laps to go. Then the final lap brought even more chaos. Carson Hocevar crashed while leading. Chase Elliott briefly got to the front before getting caught in another last lap wreck. Through all of it, Tyler Reddick found a way. He threaded his car through the wreckage on the final lap to win the 2026 Daytona 500. SVG crossed the finish line in 30th place, 1 lap down.